Morning, gang. Chris Angel coming at you on my walk. Having some thoughts today I want to share with you. Actually coming right off of a private message on Facebook, actually. But other circumstances throughout the week. Look, in business, because that's where I spend a lot of my time, is in the business space. People have goals. They have business plans. They've got things they want to accomplish. They have a life they need to live. They've got results they want to produce. And in the middle of trying to figure out the game, they're asking the wrong questions. So, for example, the question that came across today was, well, I have all these leads, my broker's giving me these leads, and they're Zillow leads, and they're not really very good. Like, they're not pre-qualified, they don't really listen to me, they just want to go look at houses. So how do I, and this is not the first time I've heard this question, but like, how do I make that situation better? It's the wrong question. It's the wrong question, right? Like, good luck trying to pre-qualify somebody who doesn't want to be pre-qualified. Like, that is a lot of work. You have a lot of convincing to do. And if somebody doesn't want to be convinced, that's kind of hard, right? So here's the, actually, let's look at this another way. Like, let's take it out of real estate and business. Like, let's look at nutrition and fitness. People are like, well, how do I get in shape? How do I do this stuff? And a lot of times it's just the wrong question. Here's the right question. The right question is, how do I reverse engineer what I can be consistent with? Or that, if we're using the fitness example, or with the lead example, how do I reverse engineer something I can be consistent with? Or how do I reverse engineer the right group of people that are already pre-qualified, or that will take me seriously? You're too far into the game. You're asking the question too far into the game to get the right answer. Look, based on the questions you ask in life, you're going to get, no matter what question you ask, you're going to get an answer. The only question is, does the answer work? Right? Like, if you had asked somebody else in the real estate space who's a coach, they'd say, oh, well, if you want to convert more Zillow leads, you need to use these scripts and you need to say this kind of a thing. And they're going to tell you an answer to your question. I think, based on my 16 years in the business, you're asking the wrong question. Right? The question isn't about what to do with leads who come to you on the internet that don't want to be chased by you. The question is, how do I reverse engineer the right people who will listen to me, right, and are willing to get pre-qualified? Also, how do I reverse engineer something I can be consistent with? Because look, most of your leads are going to come from your sphere of influence, at least the good ones, right? The leads that you love are going to come from the people who know you. But the problem is, you're not being consistent with those people. You're like sort of hit and miss. You're like, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't reach out to them. And it's because you don't know what to say. You're not comfortable with that. And look, I'm putting this in a business context, but you can do this for anything. The question is, how do I reverse engineer what I want? What do I want? If you don't like Zillow leads, then stop spending time on Zillow leads. Like, that's not what you want, right? But you think, man, I don't know if there's any other option. And so you've already cut off possibility because you're sitting there with like, well, I don't want Zillow leads, but I don't know what else to do. And then you stop the inquiry. You stop asking. The question is, how do I reverse engineer what I actually want? And where does that start? It's got to start with what you actually want. What do you want? So if you look at your leads, what kind of leads do you want? Why don't you make a list? Here's your action item, okay? On the end of this here. Here's your action item. Why don't you make a list? Make a list of what you want in your leads. What kind of leads do you want? Okay, here we're back, sorry. So the question, right, is how do you reverse engineer what it is you actually want? And I want you to write down a list of the things you actually want. So with your leads, what kind of leads do you want? Give me demographics. How old are they? What kind of age range do you like the most? What kind of worldview do you like the most? What do you want them to, what kind of interaction do you want when they reach out to you as a lead? See, right now with internet leads, when they reach out to you, they're not reaching out to you. They just want information. And so you mistake that as like a lead. You mistake that as like somebody who's interested, and you get all salivating and interested because somebody's potential lead. But that's not actually what you want. What you really want is somebody who reaches out to you with intention, that says, hey, I think I like how you see the world. I want you to help me. And then there's no convincing, no chasing. They just work with you. That would be more honest about what you want, right? So your action item out of the end of this video is, across all your areas of life, and in this instance we're talking about leads, right? What do you want? Then start asking the question, how do I reverse engineer that? Okay, that's what you need. And if you need help with that, well, then that's where coaching comes in, right? You start getting some perspective from other people about how do I actually get this thing I want. But it starts with being clear about what you want. So go out this week, start getting clear about what you want, and start asking different questions about how to get that.